This exhibit was thought up by a collector who has always dreamed of writing a book. A few summers ago, my family and I were fortunate to spend an extended period of time in New York City. The musical Hamilton was all the rage, and people spent thousands to be in the room where it happens. I told Adam he needed to listen to the soundtrack because I knew he would fall in love, and boy was I right. Adam shares things in common with Alexander. Those who know Adam can attest he doesn't easily take no for an answer, and he writes like he's running out of time.
I'm going to tell you briefly about who patriot publisher Isaiah Thomas is. Patriot publisher Isaiah Thomas is here in my view of American history and the First Amendment and the way the Revolution played itself out. Here in my view of American history and the First Amendment and the way the Revolution played itself out. And Alexander Hamilton is here. So the two go together. And you're going to learn over the next month how Alexander Hamilton could not have been Alexander Hamilton. And in fact, there are people who've been to the musical. What was the first thing Alexander Hamilton wrote? There was a hurricane came, a devastation rain. I'm going off script. What's the first thing Alexander Hamilton writes as a kid in the island of Nevis? He writes essays about the hurricane. Who published those essays? Patriot publisher Isaiah Thomas. So the artist, the renowned artist who focuses on Isaiah Thomas and Revolutionary War history is with us, and he will be speaking next week. So anyone who loves art, anyone who loves American Revolutionary War history, anyone who wants to talk about Boston, and if you look on the walls, the maps that you have to look at these maps and study them. There's a reason we have maps here today, because this program is not just about Alexander Hamilton. It's about Alexander Hamilton, the immigrant who came to America, became the right-hand man of George Washington, and helped write and found this country, write the Constitution and found this country. Look at those maps. They are part of the story of America, and they are original. Look at those dates. Thank you, William, and thank you for, I won't say which is which, but we have a Washington signature in this room. We have a Benjamin Franklin signature in this room. We have an Alexander Hamilton signature in this room. And we have a James Madison signature in this room. So thank you, William, for some. Thanks. And I should have started by mentioning, and I apologize, we have the Secretary General of the Inter-American Bar Association. Carolina is here. And I want to thank Carolina for everything that she does for human rights. And this is a time when I don't need to tell everyone about Venezuela, but we're going to be finding out names of charities where people can donate. Because there is it's already a crisis, but there is a human rights crisis and a humanitarian crisis. And I can assure you, from having read hours and hours about Alexander Hamilton, you would not be standing by. That printing press, which reported on the Battle of Lexington and Concord, you have to come back to hear the story about what David is going to tell next. So some of you will recognize Camillus, and some of you will recognize the name Grotius. Grotius, and I have the marble bust of Grotius. That marble bust comes from the House of Representatives. In other words, Grotius is over the gallery doorway in the U.S. House of Representatives because Grotius is so important for American law. He was an Enlightenment thinker. He's on par with John Locke, Montesquieu, and Rousseau. That's how important Grotius is. And Hamilton knew that. Grotius was one of the thinkers from the Netherlands who was involved with international law. He's the founder of international law. He's probably about 17 years old, maybe 18 years old. So he's a young man. He's at college at, who knows what college Hamilton attended?
King's College.
King's College. They changed the name to Columbia. So Hamilton is a student at King's College, right? The ferment is happening with the revolution. He starts writing essays. He's refuting the farmer. That's why it's called the Farmer Refuted Essay, and there are several of them. What does Hamilton cite in the Farmer Refuted Essays? He's a student. He doesn't have much money because he's poor, he's on scholarship, so he would have been using a book in the library at King's College. Later on, once he starts making money, he buys his own copy. So Hamilton starts citing this book when he's a student at King's College. This is 1775. He continues citing it. What's the most famous book Hamilton was involved with writing? Yell it out. Federalist Papers. Hamilton cites this book in the Federalist Papers. Will I give you the numbers? Now, if you read the materials, you'll get to see it. I think it's Federalist. I don't want to say it.
the big talking point is Cortez. What's her name?
Ocasio-Cortez.
Ocasio-Cortez. Oh my.
Oh, she's an idiot.
Every day, my history teacher, Mr. Wolf. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that, but he's very politically connected, and we talk to him a lot about I'll email with him periodically. I have a group email with some of my friends, and we talk about it. And every day when we come in, he's talking about something new that happened.
Why doesn't she go to Venezuela?
But supporting Ocasio?
Send him to go visit Cuba.
In support of her.
No, gosh.
Oh, he criticizes her as well.
Criticizes her.
So, is he doing a criticism from the left or from the right? Do you believe him to be a conservative or a liberal teacher?
He is very moderate. Like as these days, like, and I think that's more.
Introduce who's to your left.
Grandpa Bob.
Yeah,
To your left.
No.
Okay, Grandpa. Whose DNA? Your wife's or yours? Because he's really sharp.
He's all me.
Yeah. He gets to take the credit.
By the way, this is Adam Levinson's the order of today's events. Dad and son or grandson.
His grandson. This is his dad.
And then of course we got here the
Adam's son,
concrete
my
conservative.
grandson.
Yeah.
Mr. Curmudgeon here of the concrete conservative.
Yeah.
Ed, you enjoyed today's event?
Absolutely. It was really a pleasant thing to see so many people interested in American history.
Yes, and the future.
The
Thank
future.
God.
The future is right here.
And when are you guys coming live to Blink Radio?
Good idea.
And you can bring all your
Good
watches.
question.
You can talk about watches too.
That's
I'm fascinated by watches as well.
That's my. I
schedule
see
a
that.
day.
Yeah, definitely. I'd
Come
love
now.
it.
You don't drive yet, though.
No, in 6 days.
Really?
That's never
birthday's
an
in
excuse
6
because you got Grandpa's Uber.
Yeah, exactly.
You
That's
can
true.
drive. Okay, we'll get you to come in.
I'd love it. I really would.
All right, so
I
let's
can
back
bring
up.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, thank
Some
you
of
for
you
inviting
will
me.
recognize Camillus, and some of you will recognize the name Grotius. Grotius, and I have the marble bust of Grotius. That marble bust comes from the House of Representatives. In other words, Grotius is over the gallery doorway in the U.S. House of Representatives because Grotius is so important for American law. He was an Enlightenment thinker. He's on par with John Locke, Montesquieu, and Rousseau. That's how important Grotius is. And Hamilton knew that. Grotius was one of the thinkers from the Netherlands who was involved with international law. He's the founder of international law. The other frieze at the bottom is from the United States Supreme Court. And Grotius is standing alongside St. Thomas and Moses and Blackstone and other leading figures in law. Hamilton knew that, and Hamilton repeatedly cited to Grotius. Look at the other, I promised people, and I had to decide, what's more important? Do we want to show Hamilton's signature, or do we want to show his manacle? So if you look and see those pointed fingers, this is the day before we had yellow highlighters. So Hamilton, on certain pages, he has his manacle, which is a pointing finger, that this is an important paragraph. And Hamilton, throughout his career, cites this book. So who here is familiar with the Farmer Refuted essays from the Hamilton musical?